Levarme la moustache en la capucha. Casito patanilo, mira tacachiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacachiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacachiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacachiquitacachiquito patanilo, mira tacachiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacachiquipuletica. Casito patanilo, mira tacachiquipuletica. Sammy, levarme la moustache en la capucha.
What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today is my what would Ron do Ron's plan versus John's plan. What we both would do in this draft, what I think Ron is going to do in this upcoming draft, and what I would do in this upcoming draft. But these are things that, to me, I feel is going to happen. And I also have a situation in regards to the first round. I do feel that they're going to pick up a third round pick. It could be because they trade a player, or it could be because they move back. But I do feel that they're going to pick up a third and a fifth round pick because currently they don't have either. But I do feel that they're going to pick up both. And because of that, I'm going to start off at the very top. Let's start off with number one. When it comes to Ron Rivera, I do feel he has two guys in mind. If they stay at number 11, I do feel that they'll take Kyle Hamilton at number 11. I feel that even though Drake London is somebody that everybody's talking about, and I think they're trying to convince people to take Drake London earlier and take some of these wide receivers earlier so Kyle Hamilton can fall to them. But I think that Kyle Hamilton at 11 is their pick. Now, I will say this. If they go back in the draft, they fall back in the draft, I think that their pick is going to be Treylon Burks. A lot of y'all think that it's going to be Chris Olave or something of that such nature. I don't think y'all really understand how much Ron Rivera really wants a big receiver. And because of that, I feel that he will take Treylon Burks. If Treylon Burks is there, I don't know how far they're willing to go down, but I do feel that if they move back from 11, Treylon Burks is the wide receiver that they're going to pick. On my end, I'm a person that I told y'all off the bat, I don't think that picking a wide receiver in the first round is the thing you should do, especially with Terry McLaurin not signed. But to be quite honest, some of the top 6 wide receivers in this draft are basically first round qualified guys. And there are a lot of guys in this draft that are not quite deserving of first round picks. So a lot of guys are going to be forced into the first round, whereas in other drafts they probably would have fallen to the second round. But again, I had the same thing. Number 11, Kyle Hamilton. If we fall back, George Pickens. I like George Pickens a whole lot better than Treylon Burks. I feel that George Pickens, he's not a volume receiver, so you don't have to worry about that. And he puts in maximum effort when it comes to blocking on the run plays and also getting himself open. I really like George Pickens. Those will be my guys, depending upon if they stay at 11, Kyle Hamilton for both of us. If we fall back, I feel Ron is going to take Treylon Burks, and I'll take George Pickens. Number 2 in the second round of the draft, I think that there's going to be a run on ends, defensive ends, and I think Ron is going to have to get one before they all get snatched up. And for that, I feel that Ron is going to take Jamin Davis's teammate out of Kentucky, Josh Pascal. This guy, he's actually a fairly decent fit. He's actually a really good fit for this defense if they run it the way it should be run. Again, I told y'all about what type of scheme that they are running, but Josh Pascal actually probably fits that mold of what Ron and Jack would want in the end. And I just think that he fits everything across the board for them, especially from their defensive end standpoint. Now, he's a little shorter than what most people want. I mean, he's over 6'2", but still, he can make plays. He can actually make plays. So for that, I feel that Ron would take in the second round. Ron would take Josh Pascal out of Kentucky. I would take in the second round Jalen Whittemire, yeah. Jalen Whittemire. Now, this is something that I found very ironic about this whole thing. Jalen Whittemire, I happened to accidentally come across him when I was looking at film of Fedarian Mathis. And it was a game in which Texas A&M was going up against Alabama, and my God, you're talking about looking at this particular guy, the fact that he's not one of the top tight ends is insane. When I saw this guy, the first thing I thought of was Jordan Reed. And I'm going to tell y'all something. This guy makes plays, and he's fantastic when it comes to making plays. He gets open. I mean, he separates very well. Not only that, he finds the holes in defenses like it's nothing, and he makes himself available. He's not the strongest blocker, but he's very good at blocking. So to be honest, in reality, to me, I feel that Jalen Whittemire is a guy that, in all honesty, could be the next big tight end, especially if they utilize him the way they really need to utilize him. And I'm going to tell y'all, I like this guy a lot. I would take him in the second round. I wouldn't let him go past me in the second round because I just think that he is that special. Trust what I tell you about this. In the third round, this is one where I think Ron and I will both have the same mindset, because at this point we will then see a run on offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman, and because of that, we got to snatch one up before it gets kind of diminished as they go further and further down the line. So for that, in the third round, I got Ron Rivera taking Ed Ingram, the offensive guard out of LSU. Again, flex position guy. He can flex along the line. He doesn't play center, but he can play both guard spots and both tackle spots if you need him to. But again, this is one of these players that you really have to look at to be impressed with how he plays. Like I said, he reminds me a lot of the guy that I evaluated last year, which was Royce Newman, who's doing a fantastic job in Green Bay. So for that, Ed Ingram is the guy in the third round. I also have Ed Ingram as well. I just think that Ed Ingram is I think he fits us. He fits Washington's scheme. The fact that he's very flexible means that in a pinch you can move him around and things like that, and you don't have to worry about disrupting a lot of stuff that's happening, especially with this talk that Samuel Cosme may be moving to guard, which is insane, but okay, whatever. Again, I like Ed Ingram. I think that Ed Ingram is the guy for both of us. In the fourth round, I think this is where Ron gets his defensive tackle, and I think that the reason he does it, I know people don't want to hit, and some may not want to hit it, some may be okay with this, but I think they do trade Daron Payne, and for that, in the fourth round, I think that they'll take Haskell Garrett out of Ohio State. Again, Ron has been at Ohio State. He's been mapping Ohio State, and I'm pretty sure he saw every single guy at Ohio State. I would have put the tight end, what is his name? Rupert. I would have put Rupert here. Jeremy Ruskert, something like that. Jeremy Ruskert, the tight end out of Ohio State, because he actually fits their offense. I would have put him here, but the problem with that is that I don't think he will be there in the fourth round. So I I do feel that they're going to take Haskell Garrett. Again, he's a guy that I think that Ron has got his eyes on. He has that ability to play in this gap technique defense that Ron forces on everybody, and that is pushed by Jack Del Rio. He doesn't get up the field as fast as you would want him to, but he's still serviceable. And for that, I think that Haskell Garrett out of Ohio State will be Ron's pick in the 4th round. For me in the 4th round, my guy would be Phildarian Mathis. I just like the fact that he blows up plays and he can get up the field. I think that he would be a better fit opposite Jonathan Allen, because I think that with him and Jonathan Allen, him having the ability to collapse the pocket, and Jonathan Allen having the ability to collapse the pocket, I just think that Phildarian Mathis is the right guy to match up with Jonathan Allen and get that push up the middle to help the two ends end up in better situations and not having to focus on, so much of the run game and everything like that. So for me, Phildarian Mathis is the guy in the 4th round. In the 5th round, I got Ron taking the tight end out of Nevada, Cole Turner. The reason I picked this guy is because I remember last year when Pete Hainer, and even though he's retired, but I still feel they stick with their philosophies in Washington. He said that he only looks at tight ends that are 6'5" and above. So to be quite honest, I do feel that they would look at this guy. He is a really good route runner. He does separate well. He's 50-50 balls is his thing. Like, he out jumps guys. And at 6'6", you would expect that. So for that, I do feel that Cole Turner would be that guy. The only issue I have with Cole Turner, in my honest opinion, is that when it comes to the run game, he basically is a zero factor in the run game. Like, there were times where defenses diagnosed which side of the lineup he would be on and knew where the running play was going to go at. So for that's one of the things that I really don't like about Cole Turner. But in the 5th round, I do see Ron taking Cole Turner in the 5th round. For me in the 5th round, I would take Mike Rose, the linebacker out of Iowa State. I know a lot of people probably haven't heard of this guy, but when you watch the film and you watch him play, he's the perfect fit at linebacker for us. Now, understand this, he can play the passing lanes very well. Very, very well. Not only that, what you do is he's a guy that could flex to the middle as well. So if Cole Holcomb doesn't work out in the middle, you can put him in the middle. And like I said, he's a fantastic player. He plays very fast and he blows up blocks. He does not play, and he has a relentless engine. And for that, I understand that he's not I don't know why he's not higher up the board when it comes to the linebackers, but when I see him play, all I see is a playmaker. And this is one of these guys that this would be a guy, and I know a lot of y'all are going to laugh at this, but this would be the type of guy that Seattle would take. They would take a guy just like Mike Rose, a guy that you was not expecting to be there. But Mike Rose, for me, is the guy in the 5th round I would take. In the 6th round, I got Ron taking this guy because of one thing and one thing only. He reminds me so much of John Bostic. And we know how much Ron loves John Bostic. That guy is Joshua Ross out of Michigan. He's not the fastest linebacker, but he does call all the plays for Michigan. He puts all the players in the right position. He does a fantastic job with making sure that everybody's in their right position. And like I said again, he calls all the plays. Now, the crazy thing about him is that, like I said, he just reminds me a whole lot of John Bostic. A whole lot of John Bostic. And because of that, I just feel I can see Ron taking him in the sixth round. I mean, I could just see them wanting him in the sixth round because they will love his leadership ability. They would love that so much. They would love the fact that he will be able to call all the plays and command the defense and stuff like that. So for me, I feel that they would take Joshua Ross in the sixth round. For me in the sixth round, I would, and this might be me hoping this guy falls this far, but if he does, I think that they should. I would take Martin Emerson, the cornerback out of Mississippi State. I love the way this guy's play. He's a very aggressive guy. He does a really good job. Like he's really a man press guy, but he's better in zone. And because he does have that flexibility, his transition may not be as bad, but you can tell that he does have some work that needs to be done. And what better way to get it done than to be actually behind guys and not feel like there's a rush for him to get on the field. Again, I like this guy. I mean, I've watched him at Texas A&M at Mississippi State for a minute. And I love him, man. I mean, I think he's a fantastic corner. And I think that as time goes on, it's going to be one of these things where this guy's going to turn out to be a really good cornerback in the league. So for that, and again, like I said, this might be me hoping he falls this far, but Martin Emerson out of Mississippi State, I like him. In the seventh round, I actually have Ron and them taking Britton Brown out of UCLA. This guy's very fast, and he's a legit running back. The reason why I got them taking him is because they also need a return man. And with them letting DeAndre Carter walk and stuff like that, he may be the best thing to come across them. Not only that, he'll fill a hole in regards to a running back just in case they may need a guy like that. He's a third down guy. He's also, which means that, let's just say J.D. McKissick goes out again. You actually can use Britton Brown as a gap in between that. He's a guy that can also receive out the backfield as well. So to me, and like I said, and he does specialize in third down play. So again, he's a guy that's used to playing in a scheme where he comes into that a running back rotation. But to me, his speed is what matters the most. And I think you can use him on the return team. With that, I do feel that Ron and them would look at him as a return man, and I think that that's what they would take in the seventh round, the first pick of the seventh round. For me, the first pick in the seventh round would be Jashawn Corbin. I know he's not the fastest guy, but he doesn't fumble. That's one thing that I honestly have put an effort on. Not only that, you're talking about we got Carson Wentz here. You need a running back who's fantastic at pass blocking, and this guy is that. Like, he destroys play. He destroys rushes that come up that field. Prime example. We all liked the way Clinton Portis would blow up guys trying to tackle the quarterback and get in the backfield for the sacks and stuff like that. This guy has that same ability in regards to his pass blocking skills. He's very good at it. Not only that, when he hits a hole, he gets through the hole and he's gone. He does not play around with hitting holes. You know, I know we all have seen Antonio Gibson and his ability to not hit the holes the way he should, but Jashawn Corbin, he does that. And like I said again, his pass blocking ability, to me, that's enough to bring him on to the team. And that would be my selection in the first round. I mean, in the seventh round in regards to the running back. Last but not least is the last pick in the seventh round. And for all of y'all who don't really pay attention again, Ron likes his prototypes. Ron has an idea what his prototypical guys are and what he wants in certain positions. And for me, I feel that because this is a developmental guy, but his size is what Ron would cover. And that guy is Allie Green, the fourth out of Missouri, the cornerback out of Missouri. He's 6'3" and 200 and something. You can't coach 6'3". And we've heard Ron on countless occasions talk about how he just like big corners. He loves big corners. Allie Green is a guy who's not the best cornerback. But again, if they're going to develop a guy, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind developing a guy who's 6'3" and 200 and something pounds. So there's a lot of stuff that he doesn't have. But again, playing behind the cornerbacks that they currently have on the roster now means that his development won't be rushed. So for that, I think that Allie Green, the fourth out of Missouri, would be Ron's pick. My pick, I would go for a developmental offensive lineman because, again, we're in that place of where we don't have enough offensive line. We don't have the depth for the offensive line. And for that, I would take Chasen Hines out of LSU. He's a solid guard, but he needs more development. He needs more time to cook and stuff like that. And I think that this will be a good pick in the 7th round because I think that they can do the exact same thing that they did with Keith Ishmael, where they just let him sit on the bench and let him just develop. And then when he came into play, he was actually really good. So for that, I just think Chasen Hines, again, he's a guy that can flex both both guard positions. So, again, he does have that flexibility. He does need time to bake. So, other than that, that's how I look at it. What Ron would do versus what I would do. Y'all tell me what y'all think. What would you do in these particular situations if you had the opportunity to make these picks? Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune. I will be back tomorrow for my not mock draft because it was a tough one. And there's going to be a lot of guys who may be mocked to the 3rd and 2nd rounds that will show up in my not mock draft. So other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.